How we doing, gents? Back. Series 9.
Series 9. It was more series than Game of Thrones.
Good fact.
It's official. We've got more series. In fact, last series was probably more than Game of Thrones. I think they only had 7, didn't they?
Well, to be fair, we fluctuated in episodes a bit, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's always a shit couple, isn't they?
And to be fair, Game of Thrones were fucking much better than ours.
Oh,
Much better. But
It's only a couple of weeks break, though. We just had to regroup, reevaluate how we were putting everything together while we're all still on lockdown.
yes, but I hope everybody's appreciated what we tried to do.
we're still being busy though, aren't we, lads?
Busier than ever, really.
Busier than ever. Never left my kitchen.
Alcohol intake's increased 300%.
I would say probably 800%. No, 700%. Because if you do it once a week and you're on it every day, it's 700%, isn't it?
My liver's weeping at the minute. I've just got to slow down.
Is it asking you to say just give us a break, mate? Just give us a break.
We've got the live show on Wednesday now. Going out with Under the Cosh and Friends. We've had some crackers on.
Yeah,
We've got some good guests this weekend, by the way. This week, on Wednesday.
Have we really?
I think we set the bar too high with Bellew and Middleton.
Probably, aye.
You got to try, ain't you?
Yeah, it's only a bit of crack, like. But
yeah, if they don't come on, they don't come on, do they?
So we've got this week.
This is a big statement, but I prefer the non-footballers.
I do.
Yeah.
I think it's because you used to ask him the same questions to footballers, and when it's somebody, kids TV presenter or a cricketer or a music star, it's different. We get different answers, different questions to ask.
The best thing about it is they want to talk about the football. They want to talk about. You can see how enthusiastic, especially Andy Wyman.
Yeah,
absolutely.
bless him.
The crack about Man U and that.
Nobody's beating David Lloyd for me.
No,
it don't matter who we get on. I'll be honest with you. We could get John Bon Jovi on, and I'd still rather have half an hour with David Lloyd.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
I think it might be the first thing that my old man's ever watched on YouTube.
Oh, did he watch it? Did he?
Well, he's watched it after, like not live, but he's watched it since.
Yeah.
I said, I phoned him today actually. So I said, he said that was good, weren't it? We David Lloyd. I said, yeah. Did you watch the whole show? He said, no, I skipped the rest of the shit. I just went straight to that. As well, fair enough.
Are we revealing who we've got this Wednesday? Are we confirmed?
I don't know if we confirmed, are we?
Yeah. Looks like we're getting Jeff Stelling.
Oh, excellent.
Very good.
Yeah, he's a flipping. You can't get much higher in terms of sports presenting, can you?
So yeah, Bumble.
He's a commentator.
Oh yeah,
Jeffrey's not a commentator.
Granted. So have you shouted Jeff Stelling out then?
Yeah. I got in touch with his son, so he's up for coming on.
A few others in the park line.
Did I tell you that Robbie messaged me back?
Did he?
Robbie Williams has messaged me back. Yeah, about a week after I'd messaged him, mind. So he must have had a busy week in lockdown. Bless him.
Keeping you keen, innit?
Yeah, just keeps dangling the carrot on here. I very rarely check my Instagram messages. So I checked it, and there were just 3 emojis from Robbie.
I'll be honest, John. If I was expecting a message from Robbie Williams, I'd be checking every 10 minutes.
3 days.
So I read it, left it an hour and a half. You know what I mean? I don't want him to think I'm one of these stalker fans or something.
It's like a teenage date, this.
Yeah.
What do I do?
When should I message back?
What's your house phone number?
Them other days, eh?
And we'll be doing the quiz on a Saturday for anybody who's.
I'll be honest. The quiz is flipping gets in the way of the crack after for me, but I don't know how you feel.
That quiz. None of us have got a bastard clue what's going on.
You hate the quizzes and that, don't you? Because you know for a fact that me and John are going to recline on the sofa and just
sit back and relax.
Sit back and relax like I've got a clue what I'm doing. Not a clue. Like,
no, I mean, yeah. What you mean the after show, after party?
No, why the quiz is on as well. Let's see what you don't know. What you don't see is the YouTube screen when my desktop keeps flapping up because I keep pressing wrong button on my computer. Everybody's seen family photos.
The amount of time just a random screens come up and we're like, Siri, why is Siri coming on?
What the fuck's that?
Siri.
There's a picture of fucking Carlisle. He's just been stood on top of a hill in Carlisle and took a picture. It pops up.
No, it's been unbelievable. It's kept me going, lads. I'll be honest with you.
It's been good, hasn't it?
It has, and we'll try and keep the friends going after it.
Yeah. I think we'll keep doing the quizzes while we're all in lockdown. And then definitely it's been a good crack.
I think they've got a bit of a shelf life, the old quizzes now, don't they? 7 weeks in, 8 weeks in, whatever we are. I think everyone's fucking quizzed off the tits, aren't they?
Yeah.
I reckon if Warwick Davis asked me to go on Tenable tomorrow, I'd tell him to get fucked.
I wouldn't. Not if it's Warwick.
I'm quizzed out. Warwick, it's lovely offer, mate, but I'm quizzed out.
I tell you what, obviously we recorded Robbie Blake last night, but then Friday night podcasts are dangerous, haven't they? Sat on your sofa.
Do you get ginned up again?
Yeah, enjoyed it. I could have sat there all night. 7 o'clock start. Done for 11.
He's one way or other, isn't he? He's one way. No, it was late. No, it was 12ish.
Was it?
So he wants. There's times when he wants to kick on when it's ready for bedtime, and then times when he needs to step up and do his job, and he just fucks off to bed.
No, I did my job. I just missed the extras at the end.
You need to get into an happy medium, Chris. An happy medium.
I said to
Rose
before we started, I said, I've done me. I'm not drinking tonight. That's it. And then I saw Blakey with a glass of red, and I just thought, oh, actually, I could have a red. I thought I'm spirited out, and I'm beered out. And then when I saw it, anyway, come in the kitchen afterwards, there's 2 empty bottles in recycle bin.
You know it's showtime when John goes across the screen with 6 cans of Foster's. You know we're in it for the long run.
I'm feeling is the problem with that. They were the only 6 that I had. I did my can run Wednesday, and I weren't going to have a drink Thursday night for quiz. And then I got sucked into that, and same again last night. Only halfway through, I'd only been on blackcurrant and water halfway through, and then
were you kicking and screaming, were you Thursday? You got sucked in.
Yeah. Well, somebody said, "What you got there?" I said, "Blackcurrant and water." I says, "Oh," and then everybody, we got like 9 on the screen, and everyone's. I see everyone with a mouthful of different cans, and that. We're like, fuck it, get involved.
Crumbled.
Blakey,
first episode of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, lads.
Finally hunted him down, the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yes. I think Hercule Poirot would have struggled to get him on quicker.
Yeah. What a player, though, man.
Yeah. I mean,
he spoke about his time at Donny, and you could tell he'd give up and want to put, in them shooting drills that you do, Johnny, just at the edge of the box.
Yeah.
My God.
We're finished.
Left foot, right foot.
That extra bit of something.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. You could just tell he lost the love for it, but fuck me, some of them in training and that. Jesus Christ.
See, I've never played. I've only ever played golf with him. I played golf with him, but I've never obviously played with him. But just seeing from afar, you could tell. I mean, he always had this reputation of being a bit heavy, didn't he?
He had that bit of a waddle when he ran, didn't he?
Yeah, but he. I can remember him having some ability, when you play against him.
Yeah. Brilliant, man. Great lad as well.
A lot of love on Twitter as well from the fans. From fans of different clubs.
Pretty much every club, isn't it? We've had messages from every club, really.
Because even though he left like Burnley on bad terms the first time, and I'm sure he'll go into it, still, all Burnley fans, going on saying how great he was and how much they still loved him.
Do you think that just shows how fickle football fans are or not?
Maybe, yeah.
I think to a certain extent.
Time's a healer.
I think to a certain extent. I think it's one of them where the thing is, it probably helped the fact that when he went back, they did really well.
Yeah.
If they'd have gone back and it had not gone so well, they might have
been a scapegoat.
Yeah, that Blake's fault. That Blake's fault.
Yeah.
Should we get him in then?
Yes, why not? Why not? We'll just dial him in. Dial him in the old...
He's in the green room. He's in the green room.
Oh, we've got Brian Dean on this week's Patreon.
Oh, yes. Patreon on Thursday. Brian Dean coming up. Another cracker.
Talking of absolute heroes, by the way.
The first scorer, the scorer of the first ever Premier League, league goal. You can leave the burp in, mate. Don't worry about it. It just came from nowhere. Sorry.
They just creep up on you sometimes, don't they?
They do. Yeah, you didn't.
Surprise!
It's a bit like that one. You know, like when you had something to eat and there's a little bit stuck in your mouth, and you're like, and that little bit of pat of mick comes up, doesn't it?
Oh, come
like
on.
them sneezes, you know, when you're trying to have a serious conversation, you can feel a sneeze coming.
Yeah,
and your nose is twitching and that.
I mean,
let's get Blake in. He's eating all M&Ms in green room.
Wait, just
laid out for him.
Let's just go back. You're just on about sneezing. I once in a queue, you know, at airport, and I get terrible hay fever, and I've not took enough tablets on holiday, so my hay fever's gone like through the roof the day we're travelling home. So I'm sort of in the queue, and I felt, you know, when you feel the sneezes coming, and I've held my nose and I've sneezed, and I'm minimum 4 or 5, and on the 5th one I've sneezed, but I've got that much snot in my hand, it's come through my fingers,
man,
right, and it's landed on the geezer in front's arm. Right?
Oh!
we weren't 2 metre rule by then. We weren't social distancing, right? And it's landed on his arm, and he's looked round at me, right, and he went, "You taking the piss?" I went, "Here, mate, have a look at the hand." I says, I've done well, you know, fuck, it's all over your back and everything, pal.
Thanking us.
Yeah, you should be thanking me for my consideration. I could have just put a lot all over you. It was like a scene from Ghostbusters with Slimer. And it was just all the... I says, "Mate, I'm really sorry, pal. I just fucking really can't help it. What do you expect me to do?" Mate, but honestly, my hand, it looked as though I was like a 13-year-old, you know, like in his room on lockdown.
Right, we better get going, lads. The quiz starts in 15. We've had all day to record this, and we've waited till 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's welcome to season 9.
Yes, enjoy.
Robbie Blake, how we doing?
Good, very well. You?
Yes.
Bit more enthusiasm, Rob, please.
Yes, yeah.
You've been saying you're going to come on for about 12 months, mate. At least fucking put a bit of effort in once you do get on.
At least look like you want to be here, yeah?
Well, you know what? The worst thing was, I actually, being a bit green behind ears, I thought you actually just had like a studio or something, maybe in Leeds or somewhere. I didn't know you came down until you done Glen Little.
Yeah, it's on the CV. We'll travel.
We'll come to your kitchen if you want. We've been everywhere.
He can't swing down his nose in there, let alone anything else.
Oh, he's gone for it.
Straight in, minute in. Not even a minute in.
Nah. What's happening, mate?
Hey?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good. Just getting a bit sick now, and it's too long, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully not for much longer, mate.
No, I mean, listen. When they say now that to get sort of some normality, you need a vaccine, and how long are you supposed to sit in for? How long are you supposed to not do anything? So it's getting tough now, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah. It's you come out the other side with the drinking and all. I've had enough for drinking. Which I never thought I'd say it'd happen, but I'm like, I'm not even arsed anymore. Well, I say I'm not arsed. I've cut down to 2 sessions a week.
To be fair, it wasn't really drinking for me. It was normally stuffing betting slips down my mouth. That was the problem for me.
Oh dear. I mean, it's. Are we allowed to play golf now then, or what? As you said, we can play golf, yeah?
Somewhere in at the announcement.
Yeah.
But when he's saying it's only going to be a few things eased, I can't imagine golf being up top of that priority, can you? But if he's going to open parks and all that, then surely the golf. Hey, Parky, you still hitting it 350 yards off the tee?
Yeah, just of it the same as though, mate, in all different directions. I mean,
and then taking 7 around the green.
The thing is, I'd be fine social distancing at golf course.
What was the course we played in York? Remember me, you and Cressy played?
But it's Fulford.
Fulford, mate. He hit this first tee. Fucking hell.
Who's this?
He's hitting about 350 yards. I thought, I've got my fucking work cut out here. Next minute, he walks off with an 8. I said, I'll be all right. Don't worry about that.
Johnny, you used to have an illegal 1 wood, didn't you? Or 3 wood?
An illegal one?
Illegal?
That was the one in his trousers, wasn't it?
I'm sure it was illegal or something.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it must have been Brownie, honestly, mate. I've never seen anybody. I mean, I've watched a couple of pros on the range, and they weren't hitting as far as him, mate. I'm telling you.
I'd take 50 yard off for it straight every time. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not
Maybe,
very often.
we've had obviously we put the thing out again this morning, and
A lot of love.
between the Darlington, Bradford, and Burnley fans, absolute hero, mate.
A lot of love.
But the only thing, Brownie, you didn't see it because when I came to play with you, mate, I had that many troubles. I was 2.5 stone overweight. You probably didn't see that I was actually quite good.
I've seen you on the telly, man. You used to always score against us for Burnley, Preston.
I know Preston, I think it's just one of them teams, mate. It's just one of them teams. I don't know whether you used to get up for it a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all like the camaraderie and all the stick you get. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I used to love getting pelters. I used to love it.
Mark, did you play in that game when I scored that free kicking off the post? I think you were in the wall with Chappie, Richard Chaplow. Were you in the wall?
Was it at Preston?
It was at Deepdale, and I remember putting it down because I was fuming because Coyley left me out in that game. I was fucking fuming. And he said, I'm going to leave you on the bench and all that. And anyway, he brought me on after about 60 minutes. It was only 5 minutes after I'd come on. And it was quite far out, and I could hear Chappie saying, fucking, don't need a wall, just let him shoot from there. He's got no chance.
It's not like Chappie to chirp up.
Yeah, well, I played with Chappie, didn't I? But no, he was like, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, fucking hell, it's gone in.
Must have been some wall to get around and all if I were in it.
It was all right, mate, you were in the centre.
Was that Darlington?
Yeah.
How old were you when you got your debut?
Well, what happened was, I was a Middlesbrough schoolboy at the time. And when they went into liquidation, I can't remember, it might have been 87 or 88, I think. And they kept what they thought was their better players. So they kept, I don't know if you can remember him, Phil Stamp and people like that. He was in my age group. And then obviously they couldn't keep 10 or 15 young lads on there because obviously they tried to concentrate getting the first team sorted. So I was surplus to requirements, and you had like Hartlepool, Darlington, the local teams close by. And then when I was 15, the scout Barry Gilder just said to me, do you want to come to ours and have a trial? So I had a 2-week trial. And then after that 2-week trial, they offered me obviously a 2-year YTS then. And I just thought, perfect. And then after the first year, I thought, fucking hell, I've made the wrong mistake here. I didn't play at all. Fucking my job was nets and pegs every week. Nets and pegs every week without fail. And then whatever happens, sometimes your body matures, doesn't it? Or you grow a little bit. And in the second year YTS, I think I scored about 50 goals, for the youth team. And then I made my debut when I was 17. So I think that really, it was like a bit of a stroke of luck because before I knew it, when I was 17, I was playing the likes of against Noel Blake, you know what I mean? Who just used to hammer you in them days. You could tackle or you could do stuff, do you know what I mean? So it was a massive, learning for me to play with men as early as that and as physically strong as that. And it took off from there. And, as you're playing with that sort of level, you get physically stronger, don't you? And you get better. And then after that, I had that season and I came in the next season. And then I was gone just after Christmas. I think I was on about 15 goals at the start of the Darlington.
Division 4?
Yeah, it'll have been Division 3 then, yeah. I think it'll have been Division 3, yeah. And it was like a Wednesday and I was at home and Chris Kamara rang me. He said, we've agreed a fee with Darlow, are you coming? Or do you give me permission? It was like transfer deadline date. It was like the last day before the deadline. So, yeah, so that was it. But
how old were you then when Kamara rang?
I was 19. 19, yeah.
And Cammy's manager of Bradford time, yeah?
Cammy's, but for me, Parky, I know we spoke about it briefly when I was on that time, with the lads and all that, but it was such like a great education and a sort of down-to-earth tools, I'd call them. When you're going through the YTS system, because you had like so many boots to clean and the way you couldn't speak to the pros, and it was always for me. Right now we've lost that the thrill of trying to get in that first team. Now I think these lads who are in the academies and these under 23s, they think they've already made it. Where we were always trying to aspire to get in that team, even though it was Darlington. You know what I mean? You looked at the likes of Sean Gregan and people like that, and you wanted to be part of it. I think that's gone away from it now, and it was just always that. I felt that was my great grounding to play as long as I did, and have the career I did, because it was such a down to earth footing for me, and I've always believed in that.
I think that's what we spoke about many times. That's the problem with the game now, I think. Yeah.
You just got to be careful what you say, Pat, because you know what I mean. Birthdays and all that used to get absolutely hammered. Raljeks, the balls and everything, whacked up. You know what I mean? Yeah. We had a YTS lad called David McGlynn who wouldn't tell anyone it was his birthday. So obviously the pros got wind of it. So they brought him in the thing. He shaved his bollock, put Raljeks. I can't remember, someone threw deep meat up his ass, and they took the brush out of Feethams. You've played at Feethams, have you? Yeah,
the old Darlow.
Yeah, the old Darlow, mate. Yeah, the brush, the sweetening brush had every fucking thing on the bristles that you've ever known about, and they put it through his arms and strapped him up and put him on the goalpost. And he said, "You're not moving." He said, "I've got to go training in 10 minutes." He went, "No, you're not." So he was bollock naked on the Feethams pole like that, and then Brian Little was the manager, came out, and he went, "Who's done that?" And he said, "Oh, the pros, is his birthday." He went, "All right, no problem. See when we get back. See when we get back from training." But you imagine that now. What people might say that's too much, but what I'm saying is it was just like you say now and then it's completely different.
Do you remember? Were you terrified at the time when it was going on?
Petrified, mate. Like I say to you, I had 20 odd boots to clean now. You're going to forget them sometimes. You might have your own things to do. You might be late, might be doing something, or you might get told to go to the office because the manager wants to see you. And I remember Peter Davenport absolutely gave me shit. And I must have given him a look like, calm down. And I went in the home team and I got beat up. Beat up.
By the players?
By the players, mate.
That was it. If you were cleaning the boots and they were wet for when the players started training, you were in the shit. You knew as well.
You were done, mate. You were done. But there wasn't. They didn't pick on you to a level of but you just knew your place. You know what I mean? You knew where you stood, and that's the big difference for me.
The thing is, everyone was in the same boat as well, weren't they? It weren't just everybody got this treatment, didn't they? Everyone
got it, mate. But I was always the fucking. Whether I was just that type of character, I always the one who got in the shit. You know what I mean? We had Jerry Forrest, who was like our YTS, coach and all that. And then obviously at 5 o'clock, you come round and home team, corridors, and stands clean and all that. And I was on the boots, so I had to make sure the boot room was completely clean. We used to come round at 5 o'clock, so I said to Justin Feakston, "Yeah, listen, Just, fucking when Beanie comes in, I'm gonna sit on that ledge with a big fucking bucket of water. So when Beanie's just about to walk in, just give it a cough, and I'll fucking just top it over and say, 'Have it, you cunt.'" So anyway, he says, yeah, right, yeah, no problem, yeah. So anyway, I'm up there with a bucket. So he's obviously seen Jerry Forrest, our manager, come in, hasn't he? And he's gone, and I've gone, "Fucking have that, Beanie, you cunt," like that. Fucking sprayed Jerry Forrest. I got sent home for 2 weeks. I got sent over 2 weeks.
Was it your team manager?
Yeah, he used to play for Southampton, right back. Youth team manager. And I said, "Gaffer, it's not what you think. I've been stitched up. You get home."
It's great crack from your pal though when it was great the car.
Oh, absolutely killed me, mate. Yeah. But when I come back for 2 weeks, I was all over it because I thought, "Fucking, you done me a kipper." You know what I mean? It's no, you got to take it. If you give enough out, Brown, you got to take it. Haven't you? That's a problem.
Yeah. Gregan gets a lot of airtime on here.
What
Still hasn't been on, but
what for his ass or for his? Greg's a great lad, mate. He's had a few, things, but such a great lad. And by the way, he was a proper player as well. Did you play with him, Parky?
No, I played against him a couple of times. I never played with him.
He was a proper player, mate. But I remember I was at Leeds now with him, so I'd had my early days at Bradford with him. Sorry, Darlington. And we're in a hotel in there, the Duncan House near Blackburn.
Yeah.
We're in the Duncan House, right? Anyway, so I'm laid on the bed, and he's laid on the bed next to me, and he's got his legs up here, so like almost over his shoulder. You know what I mean? For the size of him. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, Griggs, how have you got them legs over there? He said, well, there's a bit of a story to it. So what do you mean? He said, well, I'd imagine I'm the only footballer here that I went to see a doctor, and he said I've got women's hips. I said, you what? He said, yeah, I've got women's hips. I said, what do you think? Do you think you're about to have a baby like? He went, I'm not too sure. I said, you what? He said, yeah, I've got women's hips. I said, that's why. You're that big then. He was like, shut up, you little shit.
Because I had him as coach at York. When he goes to when he goes to playing a charity match or a testimonial or something like that, he's got a kit bag, right, and it's got 10 pairs of shorts in, all different colours, right? Because you don't want to get to the testimonial and there'll only be extra large. And he's got to wear
every different colour.
He's got a green, yellow, a blue, a red, a black, a white, and he puts his own shorts on for testimonial.
We had to be fair, throughout my career, I've always been the same. It's whether it's in me, I just couldn't switch on to being as professional as I should have been. Do you know what I mean? And anyway, it was like New Year's Eve. We were playing Carlisle away. Now I said to Griggs, no chance this game's on. Fucking born hard. -2, we've got no chance. Yeah, you're right. So we're in the fucking Workman's Club in Billingham, about 15 Carlin Premier deep. Anyway, we get back to the house, fall asleep. Phone rings at 9 o'clock. Where are you? Who's this? I said, Simon Shaw, where are you? I'm picking you up in 10 minutes. I said, game's not on, is it? He said, yeah, they've had a pitch inspection that passed it fit. So I'm in one bedroom and Griggs is in the other, ringing Jim Platt. Yeah, Gaffer, yeah, I've come down with a bad bug. I'm not going to be able to make it.
You said that?
Yeah.
You get in first with a call?
Yeah, I got in first. I could hear Griggs on the phone about 2 minutes later. And then, in the programme, it was like, Robbie Blake and Sean Griggs had a mysterious bug, 24-hour bug for that game. You know what I mean? Things you do, you know what I mean? You wouldn't even think about it. We played one game, I think we were playing Doncaster. Remember the lad, centre-forward, Gary Brabham, the animal?
Yeah.
But he was ragdolling Griggs everywhere, you know what I mean? He's ragdolling him. We're 2-0 down at half-time, he's come in, Jim Platt's giving the team talk. He's like, you know, that. And he went, Griggs, are you all right? He went, yeah, Gaffer, I'm all right. He said, good, because you're coming off. He fucking strode past him like a big giraffe. Fucking out of order. He didn't play after that. He said, he's ragdolling you. Wait, no, he's not. He said, yeah, no, he's not. I've got the better of him. He said, he's fucking scored 2 goals. You're fucking coming off. You wouldn't have that now, though. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't have that confrontation now.
Nah.
Managers are almost like don't want to take a player off at half time. It makes them look like the player look like a dick if you get dragged at half time.
But do you not think though, Parky, it's the type of manager you are? As in, if Stan was taking me off, I could accept it almost because it's the level of respect and what he's trying to point at me or poke at me. Do you know what I mean? That's why I always think you separate the best. I would say like managers over others. That's because I might have a gripe on a Saturday till about 5:30, and then once I get them on the Monday, I'm right as rain looking forward to training. Whereas some other places, other players will hold a grudge for at least a month or even longer than that. Yeah. Or there's some players don't forget.
The thing is as well, the manager will be the same. You'd expect, once that's done, after the game, he comes in Monday morning as well, and it'll be forgetting about, or he might have a conversation with you.
Or he'll pull you in.
Yeah.
And then before you know, you're laughing and joking about it.
There's nothing worse than when it drags on, and he hasn't spoken to you till Thursday.
No, but isn't that's just pure down to man management, isn't it?
Yeah. Goes on though.
Yeah, of course. It still goes on. Well, it's probably even worse now with the players because of how much money they earn and how much, they have more power now over managers. You know what I mean? When Stan was the manager, not going further on in my career, but when Stan was the manager, he ran everything. Do you know what I mean? He was even telling the groundsman what to do. Do you know what I mean?
He sounds Dean Saunders-esque.
Frightening. But I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll get to that. But
how were you then when you walked in at Bradford at 19, 20-year-old paying a good fee for you?
Yeah, well, I think for me, I always feel like it's when I signed in the January, I signed with Chris Wilder actually. Both signed at the same time, and I always feel like he did say to me, Cammy did say to me, listen, you've got 3 or 4 months to settle in. Don't worry about this season. The main season's the season after.
What league were they in, Blakes?
They were in the Championship. They just got promoted to the Championship, Brownie. Right. So we were sort of bottom 8 at the time.
Like it to go down. You were always going to.
Yeah, I think when he said to me, "You've got this little bit of 3 or 4 months pass," we were in a situation where we were all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's all. I think everywhere you go, and it's always a settling in period, isn't it? I always feel because if you go in at January, the season's up and running, and I always feel like for me to click with your teammates, your players, and to have a system, you always need to probably have a pre-season with them fully.
Go for it.
I was used to one or two ways, me. I either used to go in and hit the ground running or couldn't score for trophy.
Yeah. Well, I always think, like, you and Brownie probably would be different players. So I'd be thinking, if I'm playing with you, Parky, or whatever, you've got to get the strengths and weaknesses or whatever, and my strengths and weaknesses. Same as Brownie. So I always feel like it's a little bit of a settling in period, but I was
looking as well, though. Pre-season, you're going away with the lads, aren't you? You're getting to know them.
You're in the mix. You'd have a couple of nights out, and
it's hard.
But also you've got maybe 3 or 4 other players coming in who are new to the system as well. So there's always that. But I mean, it was great because of the play. Obviously, for me, it was which I always felt I tried to do was I always looked at it and thinking these players are better players than what I've played with previous. So these are going to make me improve and get better. You know what I mean? Yeah, we had Chris Waddle playing, mate. Chris Waddle would beat 4 players in the telephone box. He was that good, mate. It was, and the ball wouldn't move. He was absolutely insane.
You never checked see if he'd got women's zips, did you? Waddle might have had them and all.
Well, he might have been the first one to play for England. but no, he was
as well.
Yeah, mate, he was honestly, Parky, he was insane, mate. And the ball, he was just dropped the shoulder. Now, I think, how are you doing that? Just with a little drop and a little motion. But he was great. And then the next year, it was like Cammy was like off it. You know what I mean? Cammy was off it. Like
getting too much.
No, just a madman. Richard Liebherr, used to travel in from Nottingham every day. He got stuck in a massive crash on the M62. Before you come off is it the A606 for Bradford? Come on.
Yeah.
Got stuck in a massive traffic. And he said to Libes, I'll fucking fine you 2 weeks' wages. And Libes went, no, you can't fine me for that, Gaffer. I rang in at 9 o'clock to tell you I'm stuck in traffic. I can't determine. Well, you should fucking live closer. And Libes went, fuck off. And he started sprinting after him. And then he just fucking volleyed the ball off his head. And he said, it's a good. He said to Libes, it's a good job that yeah. He said, because I would knocked you out. You know what I mean? But that's why he struggles for me, because Cammy was great at certain things. Like you see him on TV, he's great, and great company. But it was hard for him to get across that being a manager side, which you would have thought he wouldn't struggle with.
Yeah, he was playing somebody he wasn't. That doesn't sound like that's him. That
he did a little bit. He did a little bit. But to be fair, then on the other hand, he sort of looked after me because I'd signed, and I was living on my own. You know what I'm like, on my own board and whatever. So we were playing Middlesbrough in the Premier League at home, and I said to one of the lads, Craig Midgley, he lives in. He's like one of the young lads who've come through the system. Lives in Australia now. I said, Midge, fucking, she was going for some food. I said, yeah. So Friday night, let's go and get a pizza and all that. So I always remember it. You know, them fold up pizzas of calzone.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought, fuck yeah. you know, I was half like still young, but half a little bit nervous. You know what I mean? I thought, you know what, I'm gonna fucking couple of glasses of wine just to ease the pain a bit. So next minute, look, we're 2 bottles deep on wine on a Friday night before the game in the Premier League. And then I said, mate, fuck, I've got a big taste of it now, yeah. Yeah, I said, let's have some Baileys with ice, eh?
Choice.
So I'm on the Baileys. So I'm four deep on the Baileys. Anyway, I've come up the back of the bank in Bradford. You probably won't know it anyway. I'm doing about 50. Just as I've come up the bank, coppers come out. So I've said to my mate, oh, fucking hell, what am I going to do now? He went, just pull over and just take it. I went, no, I'm going to try and lose them. So I'm off down fucking cul-de-sacs a lot, mate. I'm in a bright orange Tigra. You couldn't write it, mate. Anyway, I've gone down this cul-de-sac and I've pulled over. And I thought, my dad always used to say to me, listen, if you get pulled by the coppers, good or bad, always make a first impression and get out of the car. Oh, you know. So I tried to get out of the car and tripped over the seatbelt. It was a woman. She said, have you been drinking? I went, well, I said, I've had a couple of glasses of wine. Yeah. She went, yeah, I can smell it from here. So I'll have to do you. Like, and I was like 48, so I was in a cell till 5 o'clock in the morning. We played Middlesbrough on the Saturday.
You play?
I played, yeah. And we've come in there, and I said to the coppers, listen, what have you got here? Can we just keep it quiet for a bit, you know what I mean? Fucking hell, we got in there. And it was all out by 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'd played the game, come in, and fucking Cammy comes in, slamming the door. What have you done? What do you mean? Fuck, I've been done for drink driving. I said, oh, my family were up. I only had a couple of drinks. It was, you know, I wasn't that far over the limit. He said, yeah, you find he said you find 2 weeks' wages on the transfer list.
But he still played you?
Still played. He didn't know, did he?
Oh, so it was after.
He didn't know at the time, but then he kept me in the squad. And then he said, I was never going to sell you. He said, I'll just give you the 2 weeks. 2 weeks' wages and just put
expensive calzone in that one, weren't it?
The worst thing is, Paul Jew was the assistant, and he sort of bought the family one, so he wasn't that bad, if you know what I mean. Mm. And then when Paul Jew rang my mum and said, oh, I'm so sorry about Robbie, going out for a meal with you last night, she went, you are? Can you imagine? She went, I wasn't even at the game.
Oh, Mum.
She went, I wasn't even at the game, son. So I got a double whammy off it. I got a frying pan over the head from her when I went back to butter. Yeah, but...
Oh, dear. Then he got the job afterwards. Then he dual.
Paul Jew got the job, mate, yeah. And then, to be fair...
We couldn't even get a fresh start.
But even with Cammy, though, Cammy brought a lot of the good players in.
Yeah.
But Cammy we had some good players, but I think in some of the teams I've had, we've always gone under the radar a little bit of like, Bradford's not that big of a team in that championship, you know what I mean, when you've got the other names. But actually, we had a good side. We had a really good side, really, when you put the team down on paper. We had Darren Moore at the back, big Darren Moore. The ball used to go down the channel, and he'd be on the halfway line, Brownie, right? And he'd chip it out for a goal kick. He'd run all the way down like that and block the lad off. And the lad couldn't get round. The lad couldn't get round him. The lad couldn't get round him. It's unbelievable.
I know Jeffrey Richmond, I think when he took over, he said, I'm going to get this club promoted to the Premier League in 5 years.
That's why he signed me, Brownie.
He did it in 4, didn't he? Was he a nutcase? I remember him.
Absolute head the ball, mate. Absolute head the ball. And then he wasn't so bad that year we were doing well because he was just in the background. You know what I mean? Because everything was going well and smooth and the lads weren't on massive door, you know what I mean, Parky? They were on good door, but we weren't on massive door. So it wasn't a case of, well, hang on, I'm paying him 50 grand a week. You know, he's not doing it. We were all right, but it was the year after we got promoted. He started bringing Carboni and all them people in. Now, Benny was an exception because he was an exceptional player. He's an exceptional lad. And he was absolutely an impeccable pro. You know what I mean? So we used to train in, I don't know where you know, in North Leeds called Adel. Adel, is it Adel? Somewhere just outside near the airport. And he used to get Jim Jeffries to tell Benny that we were training at 11 o'clock when we were training at 10, just so he could find him 2 weeks' wages for being late. but But the worst thing is, it just became a joke of like all lads saying, "I wonder what time Benny's going to be in. Are we going to be doing the one or a bit of shoot before Benny comes in?" You know what I mean? But we were all switched on. We were good lads. I would always say to him, "Benny, listen, we're in at 9:30 or whatever."
What's the trying to stitch him up to try and get some of the dough back?
Absolutely, mate. Well, I'm not surprised. He used to fucking eating flying pizza every day on Street Lane. You know what I mean? But I think he was on about 45 bags in them days, 2000. You know what I mean?
A bit of jealousy within the
yeah,
squad.
absolutely. But instead of thinking, I'm bringing this player in to keep us in the league,
yeah,
and then his wages is almost irrelevant. But the club's not going particularly well, so I'll just hammer him.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be jealousy amongst the lads, Chris.
No, absolutely not. No.
Do you come from Sheffield Wednesday?
Hey, Party, what a player, mate.
Yeah.
What a player. But I mean, then we signed Stan Collymore. Fucking Stan Collymore.
You forget all these players, don't you?
Yeah.
And what a player he was, but he was just a loophead. Great lad.
A few have said the same. You know how good he was. But
He was just he'd play, and good players because he would play with his left foot. You think, he must be left-footed. Then he'd play with his right foot, and you're like, what foot is he? He was that good. But then sometimes he'd come in. It was when he was going through all that problems with Eureka Johnson and stuff. And we hadn't had this before. We turned out, because we used to get trained at the ground. We turned out there must have been about 100 photographers outside Valley Parade. Because he started bandaging himself up in the physio room. Do you ever see them papers in bandaging himself up? Yeah. Well, if you look at the picture, I'm stood next to him, but I didn't have a clue that was going on. I just thought he was having a bit of banter. You know what I mean? To go down to train. Didn't realise, because when you're thrown into it like that, he's obviously been used to it that much. And it was incredible, but just a great people. What happened was we had a core of good players, and then Jeffrey tried to take it to the next level and try and get into Europe and all that bollocks, instead of just keeping grounded. And the perfect example is my old club now, Burnley. What they do, they don't try and go to the levels that they should do. Listen, where they are now in the league is incredible.
Yeah,
but they do it on a budget and they do it on a shoestring, and that's what we should have done. And
so who was manager when you got promoted? I've lost track of.
Paul Jewell was the manager. From
the Championship to the Prem, and then did he get potted?
And he kept us up, Brownie. This is how mad Jeffrey Brown was. Jeffrey Richmond, sorry. He kept us up. And I was in on Spain with the missus on a holiday. So he got promoted one year and kept us up in the Premier League. And he got the sack. He got the sack from nowhere, mate. Even in pre-season, we hadn't even 5 or 6 games into it. He got the sack.
Did you ever find out the reasons, the proper reasons?
It'll have been, I want to sign this player, I want to sign that player, because he killed me really, mate. Because when the year we went up, I had a bit of a contract dispute with the club, and they were trying to keep me on pennies basically. And you know me, Brownie, I was genuinely in the top 3 players we had. In terms of my age and all that going forward, I thought I was in the top 3, but I was getting paid in the bottom 3. So I was trying to sort out a contract with them, and they wouldn't give me it. And then I was going through concert with my ex-missus, and Brian Kidd rang me on the phone. He was like, "Oh, right, yeah." He said, "We've bid £4 million."
Man U?
No, Blackburn. When he was a manager of Blackburn, he said, "We've bid £4 million, and we'll give him one hit of £4 million down straight away now." He said, and they've turned it down. He said, "We can't." He said, "I physically can't go anymore." And I said, "Brian, I understand that. I respect that." I said, "I come there tomorrow and know what you're offering for £4 million." It wasn't like 500 grand. It was £4 million cash straight away. That was in 2000. That's a hell of a lot of money now.
Yeah.
And what it is, Parky, truthfully, if I'm being honest, I always felt Jagger had a little bit of a thing with me. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can get players and managers that he had a little bit of, I wouldn't say it was envy or whatever, because he used to always say to the lads around him, yeah, Blakey used to play like me, or I used to play like Blakey. Who's
this? Who said this?
Paul Jewell. He used to tell a certain few players, and all the lads were like, fucking nowhere near. Do you know what I mean? But I always felt that he held that against me, because for that amount of money and the wage I was on, Brownie, it wasn't fair on me.
Did you not go in then?
Yeah, of course it'd be when you've got. Listen, deep down, I don't know the full conversations that Jagger will have been having with Jeffrey Richmond. I don't know, but all I would be to say is that Jeffrey Richmond had complete control of everything. You know what I mean?
So if Joel, if the chairman would have wanted to sell you, he'd have sold you.
I'd have gone. Well, it happened. It happened a few years later. Speaking about this, Brownie, Party, it happened a few years later when the club had to sell Collingmoors and Carbonis and Dan Petrescu's and all them. The club was in a bad state, mate, because we got relegated and there was too much money going out. So they ended up selling me for £1 million to Burnley. So work that out, in about 2 years later, they could have had £4 million down, boom, to Blackburn. But yet they sold me because they needed to pay some bills, £1 million to Burnley. And Nicky Reid was, is it Nicky Reid? No, not Nicky. Nicky Law. Nicky Law was the manager then. He was the manager then.
So how was he looked at from Bradford fans then, Richmond? Is he hated or...?
He was loved, obviously, first of all. But then once a lot of the stuff comes out of the woodwork, he's not very well liked. And I don't think he was very well liked as a person, even outside of football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't be quoted on this, but I heard he got a bit of a taste at behind the back of a casino or something one night. But unfortunately, my mates didn't do a good enough job. No, but you know, it's just, yeah.
So do you ever think what would have been then? What would have happened if that move would have gone off? Or
listen, you always think that, don't you? But I think for me, Parky, I was always very grateful and very happy with what I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think if I would have been a little bit more dedicated and a little bit more switched on, which sometimes it doesn't come to play, it doesn't actually come a little bit later on, then yeah, I definitely 100% believe I would have played higher.
Is there anybody who stands out that tried to push you that bit further to be more dedicated?
Well, my dad did it until I was 21, and he died of a massive heart attack. So it was really, it took me 2 years to completely re-get myself. I couldn't function without my dad for 2 years. It killed me. So, and then after that, it was, yeah, I mean, when I say I didn't do enough, I mean, obviously, I must have done quite a bit to get where I did.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know for a fact, and you know I'm not big-headed, Brownie, I know for a fact I was not committed enough or professional enough. And I know for a fact, with what players you played against at that time when you were playing, I would have played a little bit higher. Because even the likes of David May used to say to me, "What are you doing here, Blakey? What are you doing? What are you doing?" You know, when he came from Man U, "What are you doing at this level? What are you doing at this level?" He says, "I've played with people who've won trebles and stuff, and you've got the same, if not better than some of their ability. Well, what are you doing?" And it just didn't register me, to be honest. It's hard to say. Like, people might think, "Is he mad? What's he talking about?" It's only you individually know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Dino there then at Bradford at that point, Windass.
Dino was there, mate. Fucking hell. But we had great characters. You know what I mean? We had Saunders there. John McGinley came. We had Big Daramo. We had Jamie Lawrence. We had some great characters, mate. We had some really, and that's what held, as you do it, it holds a dressing room up. You know what I mean? Dean Windass was getting every move from everywhere. You know what I mean? The only team that didn't come in from, which I was surprised, was Real Madrid.
I bet he might have thought about telling you one day that they did, though.
The best thing, right? The best thing, though. He says to me, "Fucking hell, mate." He said, "You know what? Do you remember Dennis Booth?"
Yes.
He went, "Booth," he said to me. So, you know what? He went, "Booth," he said to me, "if football was played in a telephone box, I'd have played for England."
We've been into a Carbone.
I said to him, "The fucking 18-year there, he's not as big as a telephone box, you fucking spudhead." I used to call him Boris Piper. Fucking big tatty head.
A few people on Twitter mentioned Jamie Lawrence. Is he
Animal, mate. Animal. Yeah. Great lad. He'd do anything for you. He's just a lunatic. You go on a night out with him, he'd just be staring at people like that. Who's he looking at?
Before he did a few stints inside, didn't he, before making it?
Well, I don't know if it's plural. Maybe one.
Right.
Maybe one of.
Yeah.
But I think what's really good is for Jamie is what he's actually doing now as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. What he's taking young kids off the streets who've got nothing going, and he's trying to build them up and trying to give them an education, trying to move forward. And I think that's a credible thing to do, certainly where you've come from, you know what I mean? Because it would be easy for players just to think, you know what, I've had my day, I'm just going to chill out, I'm just going to sulk or whatever. But you actually, to go and do that, it speaks volumes for the lad.
I suppose if you, like you say, had a bit of a rough start, and then being able to recognise that and seeing how you can make a difference in others.
Yeah, and do you know what? He was an animal. I mean,
did you have a fight?
Nah, he wouldn't fight me, mate. He'd probably look at me and say, "Why am I going to pick on you?" But we had players then, though, who were just in the trenches with each other, and that was it. And like I said to you before, lads, the amount of wrong uns we had in that team is scary. Yeah. But you know, sometimes the wrong uns come together and they blend into a good team, don't they?
I was going to say, you're successful, weren't you?
Yeah.
Did that promotion party, with McCall falling off the car, were you close by? Were you a few cans?
I was about 10 yards away from him. And you know what? He didn't spill a fucking drop. And you know what? It kept on getting played. If you can remember, it kept on getting played on Saturday AM. Fucking Macca went, I'm going to ring in Saturday AM and tell him to take it off. I said, fucking give over. You know what I mean? So it's fucking great crack. But we had card schools and all that. Do you know what I mean? Fucking card schools was ridiculous.
And they were heavy as well.
Yeah, even Jagger, the manager, was involved. Do you know what I mean? Fucking caught Windass cheating one time, didn't we? I had an ace flush, right? So I'm betting. So it was 10 open, 3-card brag, 10 open, 20, no, sorry, that's a lie. 10 blind, 20 scene. You know what I mean? 10 blind, 20 scene. Anyway, Windass is 20 blind, 20 blind. So I'm thinking, fuck, I've got an ace flush here. 40 open. And all of a sudden, I'm getting kicked under the table by John Dreher. He's going to me. No, like, I don't think I'm going to fucking got a hand. He's going, no. So anyway, I've gone, oh, I'll see you. Whatever, I think, you know, normally you can't see a blind man. We had a rule where you could see them. So I said, go on, I'll see you. And they had the same 8, 9, 10 suited as the previous hand. So what he did was, you know, the cards on the table. So we had the 4 on a table and then the other table opposite. And we had two seats taken, you know, like on the end. So what Dino did, everyone would give their cards in, but Dino would put his arm over that and not give his cards in.
He swapped them back.
Yeah, fucking there was uproar. No, I haven't. I've got the same hand. I said, fuck you off.
Dino had not processed in his head that everyone's going to realise it's the exact same 3 cards.
No, but you know what? His process is different to everybody else, isn't it? I mean, listen, that's just part of it. I'm not saying that as a negative spin on Dino because he's a good lad, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just, it happens, doesn't it? Sometimes it happens.
From time to time.
But, I mean, that were the punches thrown on that at all?
All the time, mate. Mad things, you know what I mean? I remember we played Southampton away and we were 4th from bottom, they were 3rd. We played at the Dell. It was a massive game. There was only about 5 games to go. And fucking Jim Jeffries and Billy Brown were in charge, the fucking Keystone Cops, you know what I mean? And anyway, we get beat 1-0. Marian Paz scores a fucking worldie. Cuts in, bends it in the top corner, lose 1-0. So he comes in. So he's fucking... Jim's like, well, what is it then? Tell me. I'm up for it. Tell me and I'll do it. And he said, are we shooting enough practices? Are we keeping the ball enough? Are we trying to press enough? What are we? He went, are we putting enough crosses in? And Peter Begley went, whoa, there. He went, are you fucking having a laugh? He went, I've crossed 385 fucking crosses this season. And do you know who's in front of me? David Beckham. We all went, fuck off. and then Dean Saunders goes, fuck off. How many fucking chops you done? And then all of a sudden it fucking kicks off. Do you know what I mean? And then David Hopkins stands up and goes, I know what the fucking problem is. Jim's gone, what? He went, it's fucking you. We all, you know, like in his dressing room, it was like in a court of law. Everyone went, whoa. He went, it's you. He went, not playing against fucking Hart in a Bernie now, mate. He says, look at the fucking team Southampton have got fucking 4 internationals in the fucking bottom 3. What are you thinking? It's not fucking. You're not playing a fucking Hamilton Academicals now. You're fucking out of your depth.
We use all thinking the same, even though Hopkins said it.
It killed the argument.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, it just everyone went, oh. And anyway, he come in on the Monday. He went, lads, I'm off. I've been paid up.
Who, Hopkins?
Hopkins got paid up, mate. Yeah, on the Monday morning, come in and got paid up, mate. But I tell you how Jim and Jeffries and Billy Brown were that far out of the depth. There was 4 foot of snow on Valley Parade, right? He had the sheets down over it, and he made us do 11v11 on it.
On the sheets,
mate. He said, I'll take the groundsman to take the layer of snow off, and you'll be all right.
What footwear did you go with?
And hang on, Brownie. Jokes aside, we were playing in the Premier League, mate. How mad's that? You know what I mean?
Green Hunter. I'm going to wear my Hunters today. It's not a stud or rubber, it's a Hunter welly.
Did I pack my Timberlands?
You know, when you went on loan to Forest, didn't you?
Yeah, great club, mate.
And then did they want to sign you?
They want to sign me, mate. Yeah, David Platt was the manager. Had a great time. Tank was there. Alan Rodgers was there.
Andy Johnson.
Yeah, they had Dave Besson, Bart Williams. They had proper players. Colin Calderwood. They had a great team. And I loved it, mate. The club was great. And he kept on saying to me every week, I want to sign you, but we just haven't got enough money to sign you. I want to sign you. And then he said, I initially went for the 3 months and I was going to stay a little bit longer. But then Nicky Law got the job at Bradford, then they called me back, and then I played all the games in the Premier League after that back at Bradford. Because Chris Hutchins got the job. Yeah. And I fell out with Chris Hutchins. Absolute fucking one iron. Do you know what I mean? Clueless.
Over what? What did you fall out for?
Just great course. But he was Jagger's assistant manager when he was manager. We just didn't see eye to eye. He probably thought I was cheeky little fucker. Which is
what
fine.
do you for a new manager is just give the assistant manager the job, because it happened with Joel from Kamara.
Yeah.
And then him.
Well, it was easy for him to do that, Parky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I genuinely believe he thought we're going to go down anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to go down anyway, so let's try and rebuild. He can do it till the end of the season, and then we'll rebuild and try and go again.
Yeah.
Cheap option as well, innit?
Don't get me wrong. I always feel you're a coach and you're a manager. And he was a very good coach, but he was a very, very, very poor manager.
Yeah.
What would he like, Nicky Law? Because I played with his son last year.
Yeah.
He travelled in with his son, and I've heard that he's a bit of a fucking lunatic and all, isn't he?
He's a lunatic, but when I was there, he was good as gold with me, Parky. He was good as gold, mate. And to be fair, I'll have been there a couple of months, played every game with him in the Prem, and then I went to Burnley.
Right.
So I was only with him a few months, but when he was there, he had what was his name? He had Banks. Ollie Banks, the lad who plays for Oldham. He had his dad, Ian Banks. Ian Banks was his assistant, and he was there with him. They were as good as gold, mate. But the club was already in a bad spell. And you know what? It's a great club there. It is a great club, and it's great, well supported, and the supporters are great. And it's unfortunate that they just can't seem to get out of that little bit of a rut. You know what I mean?
They threatened to, didn't they, with Parkinson?
Yeah, but I think, and then no, Brownie was a stage where he couldn't take him any higher for me, or he could, but the club couldn't produce that sort of funds for him. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were losing the best players as well, weren't they?
Yeah, but in any teams at a lower level, if you start having success, if you look throughout the leagues, they always try and pinch them players, don't they?
Yeah, get cherry picked.
You know what I mean? And that's why it's tough for the teams around it, isn't it?
What were your relationship like with the club when it was time to go? Were you happy to get away with him? Well, more the owners, I suppose, keep pulling back on them big moves and big money moves. And then were you glad to get away?
I was glad to get away in the end because I couldn't believe that they turned that money down, first and foremost. And then I just seen the way the club was going, and the fans were getting pulled on the ride as well. Do you know what I mean? Because the fans didn't deserve that. The fans were different class. Throughout my time there, the fans were great. They supported. They didn't really turn on the players. And it was just unfortunate, the way the club was going, because like I said earlier on in the stuff, that Jeffrey tried to bring players in that the club couldn't cope with. couldn't cope with, and he didn't bring one in. He bring 4 or 5 in, and
with all due respect to Bradford, they're proper players of fetching in, aren't they?
Oh, Dan Petrescu probably never ever get a mention. He was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
What a player, mate. What a player. They had Colin
They don't really get mentioned, do they? People talk about Leeds throwing money at it and then suffering, but Bradford, I wouldn't have even known that was the.
But they haven't recovered.
Remember the big hitters in. But
apart from the good run they had with Party, this is 20 years, mate. They haven't recovered. They haven't recovered in 20 years, nearly, really, when you think about it.
Mm.
You know, they had that success for 2 years with Party and the cup runs and stuff like that. They haven't fully recovered as a club, and they still get, was it 14, 15 plus, which is unbelievable.
Yeah. You know, when you signed for Burnley, did you go meet Tennant then? Come on.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, I signed with a double hernia. So he signed me for $1 million, just about 1.2 with a double hernia. So I go in there. I said, Gaffer, you know I'm struggling, don't you? Yeah, fucking don't worry. We'll sort it out. We'll get you up and running. Don't worry. Give it a couple of weeks. Just rest with Sauce for a bit. So anyway, I said, Sauce, I need to just go in. I need get in, have a knock. 4 weeks. I said, it's January. We'll have 3 or 4 months to try and do something, you know what I mean? He just looked at me and went, I know you're only new at the club, but he fucking runs the gaff.
He's the physio.
He went, Stan runs the gaff. So I said, all right, fair enough. I said, listen, if I can get it to a situation where I can play, great. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm struggling, Brandy. Like my strengths were turn and twist, and you know what I mean, inside the box and all that. I couldn't move. I couldn't move. I had no strength in me court, in a nothing.
Some of them women's hips.
You know, I wish I had them then. And believe it or not, he killed me. I made my debut against. You know, I remember you was talking about. You know, when you go on and you get dragged off. I lasted 10 minutes. So he made me sub against Bradford. Brought me on after 56 minutes. After 65 minutes, I'm back on the bench. and the worst, he's turning around to his chief scout and Sam Ellis going, "Fucking hell, what have I signed in? He's fucking rubbish."
You're in earshot.
As I come off, I've got my head fucking between my ass, which you're gonna. He taps me on the back and goes, "You've got a groin strain." So anyway, I'm fuming. Like I'm thinking, why have you done that against Bradford of all teams? I've lasted 9 minutes. So I go on the next day and I knock on his door. I said, "What are you doing?" He went, "You fucking what?" Straight up. I went, "Gaffer, I've got fucking double hernia. I need an operation." He went, "I'll fucking tell you whether you got a fucking double hernia or not." I said, "I just need to go in and get an operation." He went, "Right, okay." He said, "I'll speak to Sauce and we'll get you sorted." I said, "Right, brilliant." So off I go. I can come back in on a Thursday. I said, "Sauce, when am I going in for the operation?" He went, "Oh, you're in the squad for Saturday." I said, "What?" I said, "You fucking joking?" He went, "What did I tell you on the first day you signed?" He fucking runs everything. So from the start, it was an absolute disaster. And I imagine the fans must be thinking, "No, fucking just signed a little fat prick." You know what I mean? Fucking can't move. And then obviously I went in, I had the operation and all that, and I came back in the summer. And then it just took off. But the first couple of games, I was struggling. And Fox, there was this scout at the time, used to say this. He said, "Fuck me, Blake." He said, "You were playing." And he said, he's on the technical area. He's called me out from the dugout and went, "Fox, what the fuck have we signed here?" And he said, as he's just said it, I've beat 3 men and chopped one and put one in the stanchion, right? And he's gone, "Fuck me, I think we've signed one of you." He said that's just the way he was, you know what I mean? But
Just pause for a second. I think Parky's gone.
I didn't even realise.
fucking hell, I thought he sat on a whoopee cushion.
Glenn Little had a few turn tails. I think he almost. I think you say he almost seems a bit Clough-esque in some of his approaches.
The thing is, when you tell the stories, genuinely, hand on my heart, I'm telling the truth, you're actually trying to tone him down for him.
His benefit.
For just so he thinks. Because when people say the best manager, like a lot of people who play with him or been part of him, they'll say he's probably the best manager they've ever had. Because sometimes it's not all about coaching, is it? It's all about the whole package.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting the best out of you or the best out of the group, or also having you back while still nailing you, having you back. And I think that comes down to your mates as well, doesn't it? You know, if you're on a night out, you can fucking hammer your mates till the day goes down. But if they're getting in a scrap, you're fighting with them, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole thing that he had. And that's why I think people always say he's the best, because of the whole package. And
you probably don't realise that at the time.
No, you do. You're in the mix of it, aren't you? You're in the mix of all the stories and coming in, fucking hell, what's going to happen today? What's going to happen? Say one story, right? We're coming in pre-season, and he gets us in the office, in the changing rooms down at Gawthorpe near Paddy. He says, listen, I tell you fucking what. He said, I've fucking been watching that World Cup, mate. He said, I've been watching Brazil in that World Cup. And he said, I'm fucking telling you, the way forward is fucking keep the ball. Keep the fucking ball moving. And we had a big factory where we used to have our training pitch. He went, I don't fucking care if you go around that factory and fucking back on that tarmac, as long as you keep that fucking ball moving. 9/10 of the law. If you have the ball, no cunt can take the ball off you. We were going, yeah, fucking hell, this is fucking good, this. Brilliant. He said, in fact, we're going to go down now on the training pitch and we're going to work on it a little bit. Fucking, so we're all walking down. It's about 500 metres to walk down to the pitch. We're thinking, fucking hell, what's going over there? Fucking hell, this is all right. He says, right, set up. So it was me and Ian Mood up front. He had a midfield four and he had a back four. He had Dean West right back. He had Steve Davis centre half with Ian Cox and Graham Branch left back. Go on then, start playing. So anyway, Dino gets the ball, plays into fucking skip out to Coxie, out to Branchy. Branchy looks down the line, turns back, does a Cruyff turn, plays back into Coxie, back out to Skip, back out to Westy. Westy looks down the line, tries to play inside, he goes, whoa! Fucking hell, what you doing? Fucking put it in behind. He said, let that little fat cunt chase it. we went... and Skip went, Gaff, I thought you said we were going to play. He went, I don't fucking care, I've changed your mind. Fucking get it forward. We all had a meeting because we were all quite open, you know what I mean? We went, what the fuck happened there? Well, he went, listen, I seen the first couple of passes from Branchy and Cox and I thought, fuck that, let's get it forward, play it there half. But it was just priceless, you know what I mean? He was just unbelievable. He'd all have us in a circle. He'd all have us on a circle and the beds and all that. And Sam Ellis was the assistant manager. And the pitch would be all set and he'd come in and say, right, lads, yeah, well done Saturday. We're just going to do a little bit of possession. Sam Ellis, it was like Kez. Sam Ellis would kick the ball on the pitch and go, right, off you go. We'd all be running around after, fucking hell, where do we go? And you think, how the fuck have these got success? But it just happened. It just worked.
Yeah. What was it like with his staff, Blakey? You know, the physios and assistant and that? Well,
so we're playing Ipswich away, and sometimes, because he had like a few mental things going on, Sam Ellis would come in and Foxy, that like when you know, like your chief scouts normally not really around as he's all over. Well, he was fucking stood on his shoulder. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we've come in. We're playing Ipswich. We're on a Tuesday night, and we're setting off about 9 o'clock in the morning. He's gone, listen, Gaffer's not coming in today. He's got an abscess in his tooth, so he's not coming. We're going, oh, is he all right? Is he? Yeah, he's all right. You know, he's all right. But unbeknown to us, he's fucking, you know what I mean? He's obviously having one in his house. So anyway, we get on a bus. All of a sudden, it's like Starsky and Hutch. A Mercedes comes down the road, screeches on the half turn. Gaffer gets out with a bag. Morning, boys. Sorry, I'm late. He just had a change of heart. You know what I mean? I'm coming.
You just Jekyll and Hyde all the time? Not all the time, but at the moments.
When I say it was, anything could happen on any day. You know what I mean? If it wasn't Blakey getting filled in a gym because he said, I'm tired, he's getting thrown through the fire exit. I'll fucking get you, Blakey, and all that. You know what I mean? proper to like anything of like. So he'd just do things like this. Like, so we got on the bus. Ronnie Jepson was the first team coach. So he'd go down the bus. Blake, do you want a drink? No. Gordy, do you want a drink? No, I'm all right. Go, Gaffer, do you want a drink? Like that. No, I'm all right, Jet. Well, thanks, mate. You sure you don't want one, Gaffer? I've just fucking told you I don't want one. Off the bus. Off the bus. You what? I fucking just told you get off the bus. So we're all waving at Jepo going Ipswich away. He didn't come in for 2 weeks, Jepo. Fucking unbelievable. How did you get away with that? And then he used to have Mick Doherty as like the first team coach for us. So there was Sam Ellis, Jepo, Mick Doherty, and obviously the gaffer Stan. And we're playing West Brom away, and we've just pulled up outside the Hawthorns, and Mick Doherty's just trying to get up and get off. And he's going, oh, fucking, whoa. I'm the fucking manager. I'll lead the team. You get fucking sit down, you daft cunt. He's just ruthless, you know what I mean? Fucking, it's my team. I'll lead them off. Fucking sit down.
And what was it like with you, Blake? It's like, go on. You're going to tell something.
And then there was one about the physio. So I'll tell a story. So I've told one about Jetmo, Sam. I'll tell one about Sam, and I'll tell one about the physio. So anyway, we played on a Saturday. We played away at, I think it was Rotherham, Played away at Rotherham, and I got a bit of a dead leg. So he said, right, make sure you... So I said, come in on Sunday. I'll give you a bit of ultrasound, give you a bit of a rub, get it moving a bit. But then Lee Briscoe, remember Lee Briscoe, the left back for Chef Wed?
Yeah.
He was injured, but he's been injured for about a month. So anyway, I've come in, so I've walked down the long corridor, fucking double door, straight to the physio room. So I'm sat in the physio room, catch around my ankles, getting a bit of treatment. Anyway, in walks the gaffer with his little granddaughter. Granddaughter's about 3. But Briz had come in at 8 o'clock to see if he was all right, but he jogged around the pitch, said he wasn't fit. So Sos said, listen, I'll give you a bit of treatment off you go. I've got Blake, you're coming in half an hour. So he comes in, morning. Yeah, morning, Gaffer, all right, yeah. All right, Sos, yeah. Where's Brizzer? Exactly like that. Sos went, well, give him some treatment and sent him home because he's not right. He went, you fucking what? You sent him home? He went, yeah, he's not fit. Are you taking the piss out of me? And I'm sat on the bench thinking, oh, here we go. His granddaughter's there. I'm thinking, it's all going to go in a minute. He's gone, I'm fucking telling you now, you never send a fucking player on when you know I'm coming in the building. Let me check him out. So I just went, Gaffer, he's not fit. So I've read it now. You know, I'm start thinking, aye. So he's gone, you fired? But Sauce didn't give a fuck, do you know what I mean? He went, no problem, Gaffer, and dropped the keys in his hand like that. Do you know what I mean? And he just walked out. So unbeknown, so now, 30 seconds earlier, I'm putting my gear on. So I know what's happening. So all the way from the home team, you know, when you turn, Parky, all the way down to the bottom, he's fucking jockeying. So I've got hold of his granddaughter, and all I can is, I'll fucking have you, Sauce, I'll fucking get you. Right. And Sauce is backpedaling, going, whoa, fucking hell, Gaffer, it's not what you think. Whoa, fucking hell. He went, I don't care, you're fucking having it, and trying to stick nut on him. All the way up, and I'm going, Gaffer, your granddaughter, he's not fucking telling me what to do. All the way up. And I don't know how, he's fucking backpedaling, Sauce, and he's opened the back door. Like, he's opened the door and then fucking ran through. Anyway, I've left the granddaughter on the side. I've got in my car. And all I hear is, Sauce, the gaffer, Sauce, you'll have to come back. I can't lock the door. I don't know the alarm. He's gone, fuck off. Oh, all the way up, mate, fucking proper going for it. And I've got all the granddaughter. Can you imagine that? Daddy daycare having a grapple.
Is Sauce the physio the one who the guy of him at Fleetwood?
Yeah, no, he went to Accrington, dead small guy, bald head.
Yeah.
And then he might be at Tranmere now with Mickey Mellon.
Yes, yeah, I had him. I mean, I used to love it because we used to when I was injured with him, I was travelling over from Barnsley, and I was late quite a bit. And instead of finding us, he'd walk in the physio room late. He'd just say, 20 Bensons. You've got to go to the shop for him 20 Bensons for your final being late.
Or a bacon and egg.
Yeah, and he'd be sat outside, stood outside room, like physio room, like that. Cheers, Parky.
I'll tell you what happened, right? We had a Tuesday night game, and he got us in on one Wednesday, and I was living in Harrogate at the time in an apartment. And I'd gone back and probably had too much wine, you know what I mean? So I've gone, fuck that, I'm not going in Wednesday, fuck it. So anyway, I've rang Sauce, not feeling too well, mate. I've got up, I don't feel great. Yeah, no problem. I'll tell the boss, no problem. Boom, never heard anything. So I'm laid in my bed about 12 o'clock at night. 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Fucking intercom. I have a little camera, do you know what I mean? Fucking Stan stood in the fucking camera like that. Right? So I've gone, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't believe it. What am I going to do? So I thought, just ignore it. I'm not in. All of a sudden, I can hear the fucking, the drain pipe.
Fuck off.
I swear, all I can hear is, Sauce, I know that little cunt's in there. I know. Sauce said to me later on, he said he was swinging off the dinghy, because obviously Sauce is not big, but tried to knock on the window, do you know what I mean? He said, Gaffer, I can't get there. He said, Sauce, make sure you get up there, because I know he's in there. He just fucking do things like that, you know what I mean?
He's made the physio.
Travelled over from Burnley.
He will have drove Sauce over to my apartment and got Sauce to climb up with the drain pipe. But I heard him. You know,
must be an hour and 20, an hour and a half in it from Burnley to Harrogate.
Over the tops, you know, through skipping and all that way.
Yeah.
He's mad, man. We were training one Thursday, and all of a sudden, drugs people come in. You know what I mean? So we were training on top of Gawthorpe. His training wasn't the best. It was a bit scrappy, you know what I mean? So he fucking drags us all in. We're thinking, oh, fucking hell, here we go. Gonna fucking nail us. He just comes in and goes, listen, drugs people are in. Anybody who's fucking done a bit, get over that fence, you're all right. Fucking hell, hey, there was a few of them, give it that. But you know what I mean? When I'm saying about these stories, that's what he was like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was gold. We used to, one pre-season, he'd make us do it. We had like a factory run round the factory, which you know he's on about keeping the ball and all that. It was a factory run. It was about 2 miles. So from the point of the training ground exit all the way around the back and down to the playing field, about 2 miles. He wanted us to do that on a morning, train, run back, have lunch, run back again, and then do that again. But he was trying to get us fit as fuck, you know what I mean? So in the end, me and fucking Glenn Little, sort of the better players in the team, if you know what I mean. I thought, I'm not fucking having this. So it was about the Wednesday of pre-season, so we'd had 2 days of it, the Monday and Tuesday, we took it. I said to Glenn, fuck this, mate, I'm not doing it. I said, fucking, I'm going to get tendinitis in my knees. I keep doing this. Yeah, you know, Blake, yeah. If you do it, I'll do it. So we're walking down, we've binned it off, so we're walking along. Like, have you ever been to Burnley's training ground?
No.
It's like a long wooded entrance all the way down from the gap, all the way down. You can see it. There's no bends in the road. It's straight down with a few humps. So we're getting halfway down. I'm saying to Glenn, we're fucking getting away with this here. We're getting away with this. All of a sudden, there was a fucking Reebok Classic, right? A Reebok Classic with a pair of sloggies on and the t-shirt just steps out from the bush. You fucking pair of cunts. Get in my room now, and I want to see you. You know, he said, you both find a week's wages. Oh, we're going, oh, no. So anyway, we're getting his little referee's room in the Gawthorpe. He sat there with no t-shirt and a pair of sloggies and a pair of Reebok Classics. And he goes, you big nose prick. You trying to run my club for me? He used to love that one. He went, Gaffer, I'm not doing it, but I can feel my knees going, you know, I'm getting, you know, it's not good for me. He went, well, what's your excuse, Blakey? I went, same. He went, don't be kidding me. He said, you two have probably been down the Buckneys all day. He said, because I haven't seen you trade, you bag of shit. And then he said to us, why? He goes, well, why didn't you just tell me? I would have stopped it. He couldn't filter it, you know what I mean? He's just mad.
What made him so good, though? being that.
He got so many big things right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
On the pitch or off the pitch?
Predominantly off. But I always feel if you can get off right, the pitch will look after itself because you're playing, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? We didn't really have. You know, now they all talk about tactics and diamonds and all this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Stan was just get the ball a little bit forward, play in their half, and put them under pressure. That was it.
It's mad, isn't it? How that can work.
Well, you don't realise the pressures. We played Gillingham at home in the fourth round of the FA Cup, was just after January. We were 2-0 up at half time, and in the home team dressing room, it's like square, but there's like a little chink in it. And then there's a fridge, and there was one seat, and I used to sit on that seat. And obviously the pressure must have been on Stan for money-wise and all that, you know what I mean? You don't take that into consideration when you play, do you? And we're coming at half-time, 2-0 up, and I'd scored and set one up. And I can see him scouring the fucking changing room, looking for me. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, he's just done a fucking Torval and Dean pirouette and spun round to me and went, "You fucking what?" And he went, "What the fucking hell are you doing? You fucking can't hold the ball. You can't do it." I said, "No, Gaffer." So we're 2-0 up, I fucking scored and set one up. And he cocked his hand to fucking punch me, do you know what I mean? He went, "You fucking fat little knob." And as he's gone like that, there was a teapot on the fridge party. And where the teapot was, about 5 yards away, was the door for the dressing room, toilets and shower. And McDoherty was stood in the doorway with his hand on the thing like that. And he's fucking swiped the teapot. Fucking all in fucking Doc's face. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Doc's getting a towel, got red burns and all that all over his face. He was just, he going, "You fat little fucking knob." Like that. And he goes, that season I was flying. I think I was on about 22 goals, you know, before Christmas, around that time. And he went to me, "Fucking 20 goals. And just walked out. And then we got battered. We won 2-1. We got fucking absolutely battered. He come in and went, "Fucking hell, brilliant, lads. What a reaction that was second half." We couldn't get our half, but it was just the pressure that he had. But he was just incredible. Even
Or two, do you know if he wanted to dish a bollocking out?
Me and Glenn. Me and Glenn, yeah, without fail. But then he looked for us to produce on the pitch as well. Yeah. And even though we'd come for us off it, like, and on it, it'd be half-time, full-time or whatever, or game team talks where he'd be saying, get these two the ball, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was both sides of it, so you can take it.
Yeah. A lot of the time it loses its effect. You know, if a manager's doing it every single game, you're like, "Oh, hey, fucking hell, here we go." But
like, when you played, you were under someone like Dino, couldn't do it. Because Dino would take a personal attack on somebody and not drop it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he'd do it, and then he'd do it the other side where you think, "Fucking hell, well, he's been fair either way." You know what I mean? He's called me out. He's called me out because I've been a little bit out of order. But on the other hand, I've produced for him.
Yeah. I saw I can't remember who you were playing now. First game of the season, I think you lost 3-1. Might have been Brighton. But he come out in the press and said he accused you of diving and that you've been unnecessarily flashy.
Oh, he just do anything. You know, he used to say to me, "Fuck, are you paying ground rent out there? What? What are you doing out there? You paying ground rent? You got your fucking divers boots on."
How would that be like on Monday, Tuesday when you come
anything
come out in the press?
He'd have any feel for it. He'd have any feel for it just to get the best out of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He do like stuff like he brought me off at Watford after 20 minutes. I've walked all the way across Vicarage Road, fucking with a monk on. Do you know what I mean? And all the way across, you can see that you've got to know a man and know a manager. He's like, "You don't fucking run off now. You got it." Do you know what I mean? And in the dressing room afterwards, absolutely, Sam Ellis is holding him back from punching me. I know he is. And the only thing that went through my head was, at least I've got the wooden board behind me, so if he does that to me, I won't fucking go down. He took his gloves and everything off party. Like, "You're having it." And Sam Ellis is like, "No, boss, you can't do it. I fucking don't care. He's having it." And that was it.
Was it for your performance or the fact that you didn't run off?
Yeah, I didn't run off. Well, I played shit, obviously, but you can't take someone. You can't take someone off after 20 minutes, can you?
Not a record, though, is it?
I went to him. I said, fucking, you had it in your head to bring me off regardless. You didn't even want to start me. I said, for you to bring me off after 20 minutes means to tell me pre-match you're thinking about not playing me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he went, nah. He said, you were having one. But then when he gets in the game, after the game, we lose 2-0, he goes, should have kept that little cunt on. You know what I mean? Do
you think there were method in his madness?
Yeah, of course there was.
He knew what... Of
course there was.
Like yourself to publicly humiliate you.
Yeah, but he booked bins. You know, we were Gillingham away, he booked bins, and it was like a cement bin with a plastic coat now, break his toe. You know what I mean? Or he'd volley me under the table for playing cards with another heart. That was a good leg off, you little fat fuck. Vote me under the table. You know what I mean? But then another one, we played Gillingham away, and this is his madness. Played Gillingham away. We're 2-0 down at half time. And I've had enough of you. You don't fucking listen. What's the point of me talking to you? Sam, have a word with him. So he sits down. So all of a sudden, Sam Ellis, you know when you have the cups and all that on top of the physio bench, starts pulling the cups out one by one and doing the formation. All we hear is, what are you doing? Sam went, what? What are you fucking doing? Are you doing the formation? Fucking get out of the way. Fucking, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. No, I'm not. I've got fucking 11 cups now. Fucking sit down, you daft one. Then he starts talking.
Sounds like he's bipolar, doesn't it?
Oh, he had one at Grimsby away. We had Kevin Ball playing. Obviously, God bless him now. Lenny John was obviously suffering quite a lot with, you know, illness and stuff. We were 2-0 down at Grimsby away when they had a decent team in the championship. And fucking come in. He said, fucking, what are you two doing in the middle of the park? He says, you're not winning nothing. You're not winning tackles, headers. You know, no second balls. You can't even pass fucking forward. He went, Ball, are you coming off? Ball, he went, no, I'm not. He went, you fucking he went, you coming off? He went, no, I'm not. He went, you fucking coming off? Ball, he went, fucking I'm coming off. He went, okay, Lenny, you're coming off. That was it. And then we ended up drawing 2 each. You know what I mean? He's unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
How'd you get on with Bally?
Brilliant. Psychopath, but brilliant. We used to have 2 pisses at the game at Turf Moor, and he'd just look across for your party and go, if you don't play well with them, we'll rip your fucking head off. He just means it.
Yeah.
he just means it. But they were the days that you had to be in it, didn't you? That was it. You thought there was nothing different. Well, I had some great times, mate. It was incredible.
That's just a combination. I don't know, just from purely by the stories that I've heard on Tennant, that what his relationship was like with Tennant.
It was incredible, mate. He was just mad. He was a madman.
Did Tennant know that he wouldn't have had to bollock Bally? Would he just let him crack on?
Oh, he nailed Bally. He nailed him. He nailed him at times, and then he wouldn't let off it. You know what I mean? He wouldn't give up on it. He'd say to us, we were having pre-season, the Isle of Man. He'd say, right, lads, it's Wednesday, you just got here. We're not playing till Saturday, you can have a beer. We'd come in the dressing room on a Thursday morning in the physio, in the leisure centre. He'd say, we're all fine. We're all fine for being out. Who told you you should go out?
At the time, if I put myself in that position, I'd be like, what a dick he is. Oh, how can you even do it? Say you can have a beer and you're fine. And what a dick. But
it's just, you have to be in that environment. Do you know what I mean? He took us to Marbella at mid-season. Fucking get off my boots. He goes, whoa, fucking what are you doing with them boots? Fucking get them back on the bus. They're not coming off. He went, it's a jolly up. You know what I mean? He said, all I want you to do, 8 o'clock in the morning, get in the beach. You can have the full day. So we were playing golf twice a day. Then we were going straight into Marbella or whatever, Puerto Banús, getting absolutely trolleyed. And then we had Coventry on the Saturday. So we went on the Monday. We came back on the Thursday. So we had 4 days and not one exercise. And we were playing Coventry away. We had McAllister, Robbie Keane, Peter and Love. I think Noel Whelan was there. Fucking got beat 6-0.
Oh, God.
Fucking I wonder what Bet365 was like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Thing is, that's backfired on him then, isn't it? Because he's probably thought, I'll let them do what they want. I'll
He didn't, but Brownie, he probably looked at it and gone, Burnley and Coventry away, look at the players they've got. It's the right time to go away.
Just take it on the chin.
Yeah, because then we've got Rotherham, we've got Grimsby. You know what I mean? They're the games we need to really focus on. So we'll let them have a piss up. We'll take that one as a little bit of a pass, and we'll get them at it. There's always a method to something where you think it's mad. When you think it's madness, there's always a method somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think. I mean, we talk about every manager on here, but I think he's my favourite. Just listen to stories about him.
Honestly, Party, I swear to you, mate, you'd have loved him, and I'd imagine he'd have probably got another 10 or 15% out of you as well. But he was just, if you were on the front line of any situation, be it busies or trouble or with anything, he'd have been on your shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the most critical part of it.
Was it a sad moment then for you personally when obviously he...
I cried, mate. I cried when I went home after the last game of the season when I seen the emotion he had. I actually cried for him because I knew how much he loved the club. He only lives about half a mile up the road from it, you know, and still does. Yeah. And to see a man go, it was like, it was quite emotional, if you know what I mean, because I know what he did for me and what the memories he had and all the memories all them stories just come back to me, you know what I mean? I'd sat at home having a bottle of wine thinking, and just sat on the sofa laughing my head off thinking, you can't, and what about that one, and what about this one, and what... I mean, I could genuinely, I know you haven't got time, I could tell you so many stories. They're just like brief stories that you can do, but there's about another 50 to say. And
so what happened then, Blake, at the end of the season? How did it play out? Did he resign, or did he know he was getting potted?
A bit of both, Brownie, you know, it was a bit of a, you know, like, you've had enough sort of thing. Let's try and take the club in another little direction. And then Steve Cotterill came in, you know what I mean?